probably about 10 years ago, scientists discovered a receptor site on the retina called melanopsin. And melanopsin is not involved in sight. Melanopsin is involved with brain function. And what melanopsin does is that it absorbs blue light. And the highest source of blue light is found from the sun. And they found that when adequate amounts of blue lights were going into the brain, of course through the receptor site melanopsin on the eye, and again, you're not looking at the sun, just outside the rays are coming through. Tactical reasoning increased. The ability to solve mathematical problems increased.
Sunlight isn't just good for a tan, it's a natural miracle worker. Did you know that just 15 minutes in the sun can increase your serotonin levels by up to 30%? According to Barbara O'Neill, a renowned health expert, sunlight holds the key to boosting your mood, improving sleep, and even strengthening your immune system. In this video, we'll reveal 9 science-backed reasons why stepping outside could be the most powerful thing you do for your health. Whether you want to elevate your energy or prevent chronic diseases, the sun might just be the answer you've been searching for. Let's dive in. Sunlight plays a critical role in human health by triggering the synthesis of vitamin D in the skin.
But let's have a look at why sunshine is one of the laws of health. The ultraviolet rays from the sun, particularly UVB rays. The ultraviolet rays from the sun, they hit the skin and they cause a form of cholesterol. Did everyone hear that? Cholesterol just under the skin. And they convert the cholesterol to vitamin D. And vitamin D is essential. Vitamin D is essential for the assimilation of calcium.
According to Barbara O'Neill, this process is essential for maintaining proper calcium absorption, a key factor in bone health. Vitamin D enables the body to absorb calcium from the diet, preventing deficiencies that could otherwise lead to weakened bones. Without sufficient sunlight exposure, vitamin D production is compromised, increasing the risk of conditions like rickets in children, where bones become soft and deformed due to poor calcium deposition. Dr. O'Neill highlights that the absence of adequate vitamin D also affects adults, leading to increased risks of osteoporosis and fractures. Plus, sunlight exposure supports not only bone integrity, but also immune function, as vitamin D receptors are found in many immune cells. Dr. O'Neill says that not getting enough vitamin D can make autoimmune diseases worse and make people more likely to get infections. This is especially important for places that get less sunlight, like during winter, because people there are more at risk of having low vitamin D levels. In addition to that, you won't believe that sun exposure is extremely good for bone health, particularly in preventing osteoporosis. She explains that while calcium is essential for bone strength, it alone is insufficient. The body requires a range of minerals, such as magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc, for optimal bone development and maintenance. Sunlight plays a crucial role by enabling the body to produce vitamin D, which is necessary for proper calcium absorption in the intestines. Without adequate vitamin D, even high calcium intake may not benefit bones as it fails to be absorbed efficiently. O'Neill highlights that bones are a dynamic structure, constantly undergoing a process of breakdown and renewal, where these minerals, facilitated by the sun's effect on vitamin D levels, contribute to bone density and strength. Additionally, she points out that calcium needs to be in balance with other minerals to prevent issues such as calcification in soft tissues or joint problems. The synergy between minerals is essential, and this balance is largely influenced by the body's ability to absorb and utilize these elements, a process directly tied to sunlight exposure. Dr. O'Neill stresses that relying solely on calcium supplements without addressing vitamin D levels or other mineral needs can be detrimental to long-term bone health. For that reason, Barbara O'Neill underscores the profound impact of sunlight exposure, particularly in the morning. It also protects your mental health and mood regulation. Morning sunlight plays a crucial role in resetting the body's circadian rhythm, a biological clock that influences sleep-wake cycles. When individuals receive natural light soon after waking, it signals the brain to produce serotonin, a key neurotransmitter linked to feelings of well-being and happiness. This biochemical response not only elevates mood, but also helps counteract feelings of anxiety and depression, making morning sunlight an essential factor in mental health management. Furthermore, exposure to sunlight promotes the synthesis of vitamin D, which is vital for numerous bodily functions, including immune response and bone health. Vitamin D deficiency has been associated with mood disorders, indicating that adequate sunlight can have a protective effect against such conditions. Dr. O'Neill points out that for those suffering from sleep disorders or jet lag, morning sunlight is particularly beneficial. It helps to recalibrate the circadian rhythm, facilitating better sleep quality and duration. As a result, individuals often experience improved focus and reduced fatigue throughout the day. Additionally, regular exposure to morning light can alleviate the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder, SAD, a type of depression triggered by seasonal changes in daylight. Plus, many often overlook that controlled sun exposure is good for eye health. Speaking of this, Dr. O'Neill referenced the pioneering work of Dr. William Bates, who advocated for natural methods to improve vision. Bates posited that the eyes, like other body parts, benefit from appropriate sunlight, suggesting that indirect sunlight exposure can stimulate the eye's natural healing processes. O'Neill emphasizes the importance of daily exposure to indirect sunlight, which can enhance visual acuity and overall eye wellness. This practice is believed to improve the function of the retinal cells, promoting better nutrient absorption and oxygenation. The mechanism involves the activation of photoreceptors, which play a crucial role in processing light and color, thereby facilitating better visual clarity. Moreover, O'Neill notes that sunlight exposure aids in regulating circadian rhythms, indirectly benefiting eye health by ensuring proper sleep patterns, which are essential for visual recovery and function.
Sunglasses are not good for eyes. You see, your eyes are an extension of your brain. Whereas if we go outside on a hot sunny day, the strength of the sun is being monitored by the eyes and the message is sent to the brain. And when the sun is very hot and very strong, it gives a message to the skin to close up little receptor sites so you don't burn so easily. But if you go out into hot sun with sunglasses on, you can burn a lot easier because your brain didn't get the message that the sun's hot to close the little receptor sites.
By building up an environment where the eyes can soak in natural light without direct glare, one can potentially reduce the risks of eye strain and fatigue associated with prolonged indoor activities. Barbara O'Neill also emphasizes the significant impact of sunlight exposure on enhancing the immune system by activating immune cells present in the skin. The ultraviolet, UV rays from sunlight trigger the synthesis of vitamin D, which is critical for optimal immune function. This vitamin facilitates the activation of T cells and macrophages, both of which are essential components of the immune system that identify and destroy pathogens, thus improving the body's ability to fight off infections. Studies indicate that individuals with adequate vitamin D levels are less likely to experience respiratory infections, underscoring the nutrient's role in bolstering immune defenses. Beyond vitamin D, sunlight exposure is associated with the release of endorphins, hormones that can reduce stress and mitigate inflammation. Chronic stress is known to adversely affect immune function, making individuals more susceptible to illness. O'Neill also points out that moderate sunlight exposure helps regulate circadian rhythms, which are critical for maintaining quality sleep. Sleep is vital for immune health, as insufficient rest can impair the body's ability to produce immune cells effectively. Moreover, sunlight plays a role in modulating the inflammatory response, promoting a balanced immune reaction that prevents excessive immune activation linked to autoimmune disorders. Therefore, getting sunlight safely is an important way to boost overall immunity. This shows how sunlight is connected to our mood and immune health. And believe it or not, there's a huge significance to maintaining sufficient vitamin D levels for overall health, particularly in cancer prevention. Research indicates a correlation between sufficient vitamin D and a lower risk of several cancers, with colon cancer being a key focus.
So if someone has cancer, the first thing you do is put them in the sunshine. No matter where the cancer is, put it in the sunshine. The sunshine purifies. The sunshine penetrates deep into the body. Skin cancer only has arisen since people started to eat devitalized food and they stopped spending time in the sun. Did everyone hear that? They stopped spending time in the sun. In fact, vitamin D deficiency is a big contributing factor to skin cancer. Skin cancer is not because of the sun. Skin cancer is often because of lack of sun, so lack of vitamin D.
Vitamin D, primarily obtained through sunlight exposure and dietary sources, plays a crucial role in cellular function, immune system modulation, and inflammation reduction. The active form of vitamin D, calcitriol, aids in regulating cell growth and differentiation, which can prevent the uncontrolled proliferation characteristic of cancer. Studies suggest that individuals with optimal vitamin D levels experience enhanced immune responses, enabling the body to more effectively combat malignant cells. And O'Neill also points to epidemiological evidence linking low vitamin D levels with increased colon cancer incidence, particularly in regions with limited sunlight exposure. The vitamin's protective mechanisms include inhibiting angiogenesis, the process through which tumors develop their blood supply, thereby limiting tumor growth. Additionally, vitamin D influences the expression of various genes associated with tumor suppression. Not only that, but controlled sun exposure can also significantly enhance skin health by promoting the production of vitamin D, which is essential for skin repair and regeneration. Barbara O'Neill highlights that moderate sunlight exposure can alleviate certain skin conditions, such as psoriasis, eczema, and acne, due to its anti-inflammatory properties and its ability to reduce skin cell turnover. The ultraviolet UV rays from sunlight trigger the synthesis of vitamin D in the skin, which plays a crucial role in cellular growth, repair, and metabolism. Furthermore, sunlight can aid in improving mood and reducing stress, indirectly benefiting skin health by mitigating conditions exacerbated by psychological factors. However, Dr. O'Neill cautions against the risks associated with excessive sun exposure, including the potential for sunburn, which can lead to acute skin damage, increased pigmentation, and long-term issues such as premature aging and skin cancer. Overexposure can disrupt the skin's natural barrier, leading to dehydration and loss of elasticity. Additionally, chronic UV exposure can result in the degradation of collagen and elastin fibers, compromising skin texture and strength. Thus, while controlled sun exposure can be therapeutic, it is extremely essential for us to balance it with protective measures like sunscreen application and wearing protective clothing to minimize the risk of adverse effects. Barbara O'Neill highlights the vital connection between sunlight exposure and blood pressure regulation, primarily through the stimulation of nitric oxide production in the skin. When ultraviolet UV rays from sunlight hit the skin, they catalyze a biochemical process that transforms stored forms of nitric oxide into bioactive molecules. This increase in nitric oxide is essential for vasodilation, a physiological mechanism where blood vessels relax and widen, effectively reducing vascular resistance. As a result, blood pressure can decrease, offering significant cardiovascular benefits and potentially lowering the risk of heart-related issues such as hypertension, heart attacks, and strokes. Research indicates that even modest sunlight exposure can lead to meaningful reductions in blood pressure levels, suggesting that this natural intervention could serve as a complementary strategy alongside conventional medications for managing hypertension. The efficacy of sunlight in producing nitric oxide varies with the time of day and season, with midday exposure in summer proving particularly effective for optimal nitric oxide synthesis. Additionally, O'Neill points out that individuals who live in areas with limited sunlight, or those who spend most of their time indoors, may be at an increased risk for elevated blood pressure due to insufficient nitric oxide production. Moreover, while sunlight exposure is beneficial for blood pressure control, O'Neill stresses the need for moderation to prevent overexposure to UV radiation, which poses risks such as skin damage and an elevated chance of skin cancer. This way, if you practice controlled and safe exposure to sunlight in your daily routines, it can significantly promote cardiovascular health without compromising skin safety. Because it goes without saying that sunlight exposure plays an important role in enhancing nutrient absorption, particularly its impact on the body's ability to utilize essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. When skin is exposed to sunlight, it synthesizes vitamin D, a vital component that facilitates the absorption of calcium in the intestines, thereby promoting bone health and reducing the risk of osteoporosis. Moreover, adequate vitamin D levels are linked to improved immune function, as it helps regulate the immune response, ensuring the body can effectively ward off infections and chronic diseases. Sunlight also plays a significant role in the absorption of magnesium, which is essential for over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including muscle and nerve function, blood sugar control, and blood pressure regulation. Additionally, research indicates that sunlight exposure can enhance the bioavailability of other trace minerals, supporting overall metabolic processes. This improved mineral utilization leads to heightened energy levels and enhanced cognitive function, as minerals are integral in maintaining cellular health and neurotransmitter function. Furthermore, the psychological benefits of sunlight exposure, including the regulation of serotonin levels, contribute to overall well-being, as elevated serotonin enhances mood and cognitive performance. Thus, consistent sunlight exposure not only sets your body up for better nutrient absorption, but also supports a holistic approach to health, reinforcing the interconnectedness of physical and mental vitality. So, what's your favorite way to soak up the sun? Have you experienced any health benefits from sunlight? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And let me remind you of one major thing. While sunshine is essential, there's something 5 times more important for good health that most people are neglecting: 8 hours of quality sleep. Many individuals are struggling with insomnia, impacting every aspect of their lives. If you're one of them, click on this video. Trust me, it could be a lifesaver. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing insights. See you soon.